The adoption on the 29th of June 2000 of the so-called Racial Equality Directive was the result of a favorable political environment and successful advocacy by anti-racist civil society united in the so-called Starting Line group. It also led to the adoption of the so-called Employment Equality Directive a few months later, enlarging protection in the employment field to the grounds of religion, belief, age, disability, and sexual orientation. The Racial Equality Directive represented a major milestone in European anti-discrimination law by extending protection against discrimination to grounds beyond sex. It also required all EU member states to designate national equality bodies for the promotion of equal treatment.
Equality bodies work directly with people, with cases, and thereby can change individual realities. But they also report on discrimination occurrences, the combination of which makes equality bodies so well placed to catch and report on what is happening on the ground. Likewise, equality bodies have the potential to be key conduits for better implementation of legislation to aid translating work done at the European and international level, including by various institutions, into actual change.
In the Swedish Western Union case, we succeeded in establishing that Western Union had indirectly discriminated persons of Arab and Muslim descent by the use of an algorithm freezing all transactions coming from persons with names matching those on the UN anti-terror lists.
In the so-called Verijn case, this company was hiring, but had refused about 20 candidates because of their migration background. The company only accepted them in its back office. The case was referred to the European Court of Justice to answer a number of preliminary questions on the interpretation of the European Race Directive. And in July 2008, it gave a broad interpretation of the prohibition of discrimination on grounds of racial or ethnic origin. It clarified that the fact that an employer publicly declaring that it will not recruit employees of a particular ethnic or racial origin constitutes direct discrimination in recruitment.
There is now an effective tool to help prevent discrimination in recruitment. With financial assistance of the European Commission, we developed a training to create awareness on unconscious bias and to help organizations to give equal opportunity to all applicants.
The COVID-19 pandemic has shown us that we still have many problems, and those most vulnerable are the first ones to face further disadvantage in a time of crisis. And we yet have to see what the full extent of the upcoming socioeconomic crisis really will be. We need better legislation. We need better implementation, a part of which can be achieved with stronger, more powerful and more accessible independent equality bodies. We need alliances and we need new ways of working together in order to realize our potential. Let's start working even harder, starting from today, so we do create a Europe where no one is left behind.